Hi guys, welcome back to the session. Today we will learn about ARI, that is Automation Anywhere Robotic Interface. This is really a very cool feature introduced by Automation Anywhere recently. So let's get started by understanding ARI. ARI provides a front-end interface for users to execute bots. So as of now, we executed bots by a click on the start button or by scheduling the bots or by adding several trigger points. But this RE provides various interfaces that you can use to connect to business workflows at multiple touch points. So now let's look into different ways to access RE. So RE can be accessed by applications, desktop, web browser and mobile apps. Now, if we talk about applications, the user can execute bots from common enterprise applications such as Salesforce, Excel, G Suite through an embedded Automation Anywhere toolbar. So what this means, if you are working on an Excel file and if you need to execute an Automation Anywhere bot, you do not require to switch to Automation Anywhere from the Excel. You can simply use the Automation Anywhere toolbar from the Excel for the bot execution. Now, if we talk about the desktop, RE can be accessed through your desktop to manage routine tasks such as validating data, retrieving approvals, and all these are done using custom forms. Now moving to the next point, that is web browser. RE can be accessed through a URL to manage front and back office functions, gathering input and approval from a single interface. Now talking about the mobile apps. So if you have Automation Anywhere mobile app in your phone, you can start and stop bots and view analytics on your mobile devices. So let's build a workflow using RE. To understand this better, we are going to create a demo workflow for bonus calculation and send email notification to employee. So the workflow steps in this case would be the user provides employee ID in an input form, then bonus calculation bot runs. Then there is a condition check to check whether bonus is less than 20,000 or not. Now, if this condition is true, a human validation will be performed to check whether the calculated bonus is correct or not. And if this is correct, then send email bot runs to send email notification with the bonus details to an employee. But if this condition is false, that means if bonus is greater than 20,000, then this send email bot runs directly. No human validation need to be performed. So let's quickly build this workflow in Automation Anywhere with the help of RE to understand this better. So here I have already created two bots. First one is for bonus calculation and second one is to send email to employee. Now if I talk about this bonus calculation bot, this bot will take employee ID as a user input. So this employee ID variable is a variable of type input. Now once the user provides the value of employee ID in the input form, this bot is going to pick up related values from this Excel file. Let's say that user provides employee ID as 114. So accordingly, this bot is going to pick up the individual rating, performance factor and base salary for bonus calculation. So this bot is going to calculate the bonus according to these details by taking up the basic Excel operations, and accordingly it will provide the bonus as a output variable. So it has marked this as output. Now along with this bonus, this bot is also going to provide base salary, email ID, performance factor and rating values as output variables by picking up the values from this sheet. Now, if all these are success, if we get the values of all these variables properly, at the end it's going to assign true to the variable success, which is also a output variable. So at the end it's going to mark the value true to this output variable, that is success. So this is the task of bonus calculation bot, and this send email to employee bot is going to send email to employee with the bonus details. Accordingly, it is going to take this input value. This bonus will be a input value to this send email to employee bot, and this user email ID will also be a input value, and accordingly it will send the email. As of now, I have not used this input user email ID because these all are not the valid email ID. So I have used the test email ID which I have, and in the message it says congratulations, you are eligible for a bonus of this bonus amount, which it is converting input bonus to a bonus amount which will be a string value. So these two bots we are going to use today in our RE workflow. Let's build our RE workflow now. So for that we'll have to create a process. So let's select a process from here, and here we'll provide the process name. I'll provide the process name as bonus calculation and send email notification. So this is our process name. I want to store it inside the folder RE demo. Let's click on confirm and let's click on create and edit. So this is how a process looks like in Automation Anywhere. These all are the process elements, and this start is the process entry point. Now here you see this start picks up a initial data form. Now as I said in the very beginning, this workflow which we are going to create is going to provide employee ID in the input form. So we'll have to create an input form for that. Now, in case if you are not aware of this input form, please check out my previous video on forms and interactive forms. You will get a brief idea on this input form. So let me create an input form. Let's save this as of now, and let's move back to create the form. And to create a form, we are going to select the form from here, and here I'll provide the name of the form. I'm going to give the name of the form as enter employee ID, since this form will deal with the employee ID, and I will create it inside this RE demo folder. Let's create this one. So this is how a form looks like. These all are the form elements. We can use any one of them to create a form. Here I'm going to use this text box, and here I'm going to provide the label as please enter an employee ID. So this one will be the element label, and I will mark this field as required. And also at the end I'm going to add a button. So let me add a button from here, and I'm going to provide the button name as submit button. So user will provide the employee ID and click on the submit button. So all done for this form. Let's hit save, and let's move back to our process. So our process was inside RE demo. This was the process which we created. Let's open this one. Now let's work with this start element. Here in this start element, we'll hit browse to select the form. So our form is located inside this RE demo folder, and this is the form which we just created, that is enter employee ID. So let's click confirm. Let's provide a request title for this, enter employee ID, and all done for this start element. Now our next step of the workflow is, this first step is complete. We will provide the employee ID in the input form. For this we created the input form and we provided the input form in this workflow. Now our next step is to run the bonus calculation bot so that the bonus is calculated for a specific employee ID. So what we are going to do here we are going to select this bot task. So let's add this bot task element here. Here we'll have to provide the element name. So I'll provide the element name as calculate bonus, and we'll have to provide a task name also. So I'm going to provide the same task name, calculate bonus, and here we'll have to select the task bot which we wish to run. So we wish to run this bonus calculation bot. So hit browse, and from this RE demo folder, we will select this bonus calculation bot. Let's hit confirm. Now, as I mentioned, this bonus calculation bot takes the value of employee ID as an input. So here it is asking for the value of this employee ID variable. So we'll provide the value. So for that, check the box and he will hit F2. And here from this drop down, we'll have to select a process task which has the value of employee ID. So we will provide the value of employee ID in the initial form. So the value is present inside the initial data. So let's select this initial data and the variable we will take as the value which will provide inside this text box. This is the text box name which we provided in the input form. So let's select this one and let's hit add. So our this step is also done. The next step of our workflow is to check whether the bonus is less than 20,000 or not. So for this, we are going to use the element if else pair. So let me add this if else pair, and here we will provide the condition to check bonus amount. So let me provide a description here, check bonus amount, and I'll provide the task name as well. So let me provide the task name, check bonus amount, and now we'll provide the condition. So this will be a number condition since we are going to check the value of bonus. So let me select this number condition from here, and here we'll provide the source value. Now the value of bonus will come as an output value of this calculate bonus task. So for that, to get that value, we'll hit F2, and from here we'll select a process. So here you see the process task. In the process task drop down, we have this calculate bonus which we created here, calculate bonus. So let's select this one and we'll select the variable type. Now since this bonus is a output variable here, this bonus is an output variable here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the variable type as output and the variable I'm going to choose as bonus. Let's hit add, and what we want to check, this bonus amount is less than, and the value will be 20,000. We want to check if this bonus amount is less than 20,000. Now if this condition is true, we are done with this condition. We provided the condition inside this if element. Let's hit save, and if this condition is true, we want to perform human validation to check whether this bonus is calculated correctly or not. So to add human validation, there is one element called human task. So let me add this human task here. I will come to this else part a bit later. So let's focus on this human task. So here, let's see what all details are required. First, let's provide the element name. I will provide the element name as perform human validation. Let's copy this one and I'll provide the similar task name, perform human validation. And here also we'll have to select a form. So a form will be displayed to the human by providing the values of bonus and all these other output values, and the human will check whether the calculated bonus according to these values are correct or not. So for this also we will create a new form. So let's hit save and let's create a new form for this. So I'll move back and I'll create new form from here, and I'll give the form name as bonus validation, and I'll create it inside the RE demo folder. So let me select this folder and let's create this form. Now in this form, I'll provide all the fields which human wants to validate. So the human will validate the value of bonus along with the values of individual rating, performance factor and base salary. So I'll provide all those values here. So for that, I'm going to use this number element And first, I'm going to provide the value of individual rating. So let me copy this one from here and I'll provide the label as in it is not copied. Let me copy it again and let's provide the value here. Now this one is a required field and it doesn't allow negative values. And make sure that you do not check this box. We want to make the field as editable so that if the human wants to do any changes in all these values, the human is able to do so. So individual rating is done. In a similar way, I'll add another number element and this time I'm going to take this performance factor. Let me provide the label here. This one also a required field, not uneditable, and it also do not allow null values. Let's move to the next element of number and this will be the base salary. Let me copy this one and let me provide the label as base salary, field as required and not allow negative values. And the last one in our list will be the bonus. So I am going to provide the value as bonus here, which is a required field, editable field, and it also do not allow null values. So this form will display the rating, performance factor, base salary, and bonus to the human, to the user. Human will validate whether these values are correct or not, and if this is correct, it will continue with the workflow. If this is not correct, if any of the value the human thinks the changes are required, human can change those values since all these fields will be editable to the human. So this is done. Let's hit save. Also, I want to show you what formula I have used to calculate the bonus. This is not any hard and fast formula. This is the formula according to the project requirement. It can change according to project. So here I have calculated the bonus in this step where I have taken the expression as multiplication of base salary, performance factor and rating and at the end divide by 10. So this provides the bonus amount. So let's move back to form. This form is done and now we'll move to our workflow on which we were working. So this was the process on which we were working. Let's open this one. We were in the human task where we'll have to select the form. So let's hit browse and from this RE demo folder, we will select this bonus validation. Let's hit confirm. And if you scroll a bit down here, you see all these fields we provided inside the form. We'll have to provide the values to all these fields. So let's check these boxes. We will provide the values and from where this value will come, this value will come as an output of this calculate bonus bot which we provided here. All these are the output values. So let me provide the values one by one. Hit F2 for individual rating. First of all, we'll select the process task as calculate bonus. We have provided the bot task name as calculate bonus here, which takes the bonus calculation bot. And variable type will be output and we'll have to select the rating. So this one is the rating output variable. Let's hit add. Similarly, for the performance factor, we will take calculate bonus output variable and select this performance factor from here. Next one is for the base salary. So hit F2 and select calculate bonus output variable and this one is for base salary. So let's select this base salary. And the final one is the bonus amount. So let's select this calculate bonus output variable and the value as bonus. Let's hit add. So the validate bonus form which we created just now will populate all these values and the human will do the validation. Now once the human performs the validation at the end, human will click on some button to proceed further. So for that we have the options here to add button. So let me add the button here. So in our workflow, after human validation, send email bot runs. So here I'm going to provide the button name, the first button name as send email, which will be our primary button. And then also I'm going to provide another button and will provide the button name as cancel. Let's say that for some reason human wants to cancel the workflow. It doesn't want to send the email. So in that case, I'll provide the button label as cancel, and let's select the button style as secondary. And with this, we provided all the values inside this human task element. Let's hit save. Now our next step of the workflow is to send email. And for this, the send email bot will run. So here I will provide a bot task. Now before this bot task, we'll have to check what button human clicked, whether human clicked on send email button or cancel button. And the send email bot will run only when the human clicks on the send email button. So for that again we'll add an if else pair element, and in this if we will check the human what human has selected. So I'll provide the description here as check button, and I'll provide the similar task name, and I'll provide the condition here. Now this will be a string condition, and here I'll choose the source value as hit F2, and the value will come from this human task, that is perform human validation. So I'll select perform human validation, and since we want to get the value of the button, which will be a variable type of meta, this is not an input or output variable, this is a meta variable type. So let's select this meta, and the variable will select as status. Let's hit add status equal to, and we'll have to provide the exact button label which we selected, which we added here. So here I'll provide the target value as send email. So this condition says if the human has clicked on send email button, in that case what we want to do, we want to run this send email bot. So for that we will add this task here, bot task here. Let me save this once, and here I will provide the element name. So I'll provide the element name as send email to employee, and I'll provide the task name as well here. And here we'll select the task bot. Now this time we will select this task bot which is used to send email to employee. Select this bot which is present inside this RE demo folder. We'll select this send email to employee bot. Let's hit confirm. And as I mentioned here, this bot also takes some input variables. So we'll provide the input variables here. First of all, let me provide the input bonus variable. So hit F2, and this value will come from the human validation performed. Human might change the value of the bonus. So we are not going to pick up the value of bonus from this calculate bonus task bot. We are going to take the value of bonus from this human task validation. So hit F2 and select perform human validation task, which is this one, and variable I'm going to select as input variable, which holds the value of bonus as well. So I'll select the bonus from here. Also, this task will take the email ID of the user to which the email is to be sent. Here, by mistake, there are two email IDs present. So from this one, I'm going to remove this email ID as an input variable. This one is the test email ID which I have used for the demo, since these all are not the valid email IDs. Let's click on apply. But in our real-time project, the email ID value which we provide here, the mail should be sent to that. So to refresh this one, let me click on browse again, and let me save this one. And let's move to this RE demo folder, and let's select this send email to employee again. So you see this is now changed. We have only this user email ID as input. So let's check this box, although we are not going to use these email IDs, but let me tell you how to get the value. So this email ID value will come from this bot task calculate bonus. So hit F2 and select this calculate bonus variable type as output, since this email ID is also an output variable. And let's select this output email ID. So let's add this one. So with this, we provided all the details for this bot as well. With all these details, the email will be sent to the employee with the bonus details. Now moving to this else part, we have not used this else part yet. So in our workflow, if this condition is false, that is if bonus is greater than 20,000, in such case we send the email to employee directly. We do not need to do the human validation. So this part we have not implemented yet. This will be implemented in this else section. So in this else section also we will the bot. So we'll add this bot task element, and in this case also we want to run this send email to employee bot. So here I will provide the element name as send email to employee, I'll say directly, and similarly I will provide the task name here, send email to employee directly. And let's select the task bot. So hit browse and select this task bot from this RE demo folder, and I'll select this send email to employee task bot. Again, we'll have to provide these input values. Now this time the value of bonus will pick up from this calculate bonus, because this time there is no human validation performed. So the value which will come from this task bot, the output bonus variable, will use this here. So hit F2 and select this calculate bonus, variable type as output, and the value will be bonus. Let's select add, and in a similar way we'll use this user email ID as well. So calculate bonus, output, email ID, hit add, and let's save this one. Now this taskbot which we added in this else section is not a failed process. This is one of the condition. So here this failed element, I'll change the status to completed rather than failed. Let's hit save. So our workflow is ready. Now let me quickly give you a recap what all we are doing, and then we'll run this workflow. Now first of all, we'll provide the employee ID to an input form, and according to that employee ID which we provide, this task bot will run to calculate the bonus for a specific employee. And this bot will provide some of the output variables such as rating, bonus, and so on. Now after this step, we'll check if the calculated bonus amount is less than 20,000. If this is less than 20,000, then we are doing a human validation in the form of an input form where we will be provided the values of rating, performance factor, base salary, and bonus. If human validation says that the values are correct, the human can click on the send button to proceed further. If human requires some changes, human can do the changes here and then click on the submit button, or the user can also click on the cancel button if required. Now accordingly, if the human clicks on the send email button, in that case the workflow will move forward, and the workflow is going to send email to employee. The workflow is going to run this bot, that is send email to employee, to send the bonus details to a specific employee. So this was the condition when the bonus was less than 20,000. But if the bonus is greater than 20,000, the workflow will move to this else part. It will run this send email to employee workflow directly, and then it will complete the workflow. So let me quickly run this workflow to show you how it works. I'll already saved this one, and let's hit run. So this RE workflow will run in another tab, So here you see, first of all, we have been provided an input form where the user need to provide the employee ID. So before that, let me close this file as well. So I have closed the Excel file and now I'm going to provide the employee ID. So let's say that I provide the employee ID as 114 and hit submit. So you see this calculate bonus workflow, this calculate bonus task is in progress. This calculate bonus task is going to execute this bonus calculation bot to calculate the amount of bonus. So you see here this bonus calculation bot is running and it will calculate the bonus and it is done. So this check bonus amount task has been completed and the workflow has proceeded to perform the human validation. Now here as you see, if since the bonus is less than 20,000, that's why we have been provided another input form. This is the form where the user will check, the user will validate whether all these values are as per the expectation or not. If there are any changes required in the values here, you can edit these fields. Remember, we have marked these fields as editable, so that's why we can change the values from here. So let's go with all these values and let's click on this send email. So this check bonus amount task and check button task has been done. Now the send email to employee task is in progress, which is going to run this send email to employee bot. So you see this is in progress. This has been done, the email has been sent to the employee and request has been closed. So in this way our workflow execution is complete. Let me quickly move to the email to show you the results. So here is my test email ID. Here you see we received this email, that is bonus details subject. Let me open this one. And here it says congratulations, you are eligible for a bonus of 16,000 USD. So this 16,000 was the calculated bonus which we received in this email. So I have used this test email ID. I have not used the email IDs present inside the Excel file because those were not the valid email IDs. So let's move back to our workflow and let me run this workflow again. This time let me take a employee ID whose bonus is greater than 20,000. In that case, we will not require to do the human validation. The input form to do the human validation will not be shown. So let me show you how that works. So let me hit this run button. And again, this RE workflow execution is in progress. First of all, we'll have to provide the employee ID. So let me provide the employee ID as 111. Hit submit. Then the calculate bonus task will run to execute this bonus calculation task bot for the bonus calculation. This is in progress and it has been done. Now here you see this send email to employee task is getting executed to send email to employee using this task bot. This is in progress as of now and this has been done and the process is complete and the request is closed. Let's move back to our mail. Let me refresh this one and you see we got another email with the bonus details and here it says eligible for a bonus of 27,200 USD. Now since this bonus amount is greater than 20,000, the human validation was not required in this case according to this else condition, so we were not provided any input form to do the human validation on bonus and all other rating details. So that's all for this session, guys. In this way, RE is really a very cool feature to interact between human and bot. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, give it a like and share with your friends. Hit the bell button to get the updates on the latest videos. If you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel as well. And I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye bye.